What is up, everybody, and welcome to Rotogrinders, the flagship show on a Wednesday for MLB. I'm your Untitled Chapter. I'm going to break down some baseball for you today. And Wednesday, I'm back with my boy, Big Chief, Coach Will, they call him. He got a little basketball stuff going on tonight, so I'm glad he could squeeze out the time for us here on the program. Chief, man, how's it going?
Going good, man. Always a pleasure to hang out with you. I've probably told this story 1,000 times. Don't care. My very first RG Live show was with you, man, for MLB several years ago now. And boy, look how the time flies. We've been through a pandemic, been through you hitting $1 million twice. Just so much can happen, man, over several years. So it's been a pleasure, man, to get to hang out with you on these shows. We've done some showdown stuff together. I mean, just stuff, man. Time flies when you're having fun. So glad to be on with you yet again.
That is the key. That's the key to DFS. You keep making it fun for yourself. When it stops being fun, it might be time to take a break, man, and recharge the batteries. That's what keeps us going here. So we got a good show here. We got about 50 minutes of pure baseball here. We'll talk a few other things too. And don't forget that this show is going to be based around you guys in the chat. So if you have questions about tonight's slate, please, by all means, fire them off in chat. And our producer, Devin, behind the scenes, is going to keep track of every question. And then at the end of the show, I'm going to bring him in, and he's going to ask them. We can answer them for you then. So I'm not ignoring you. If you fire off a baseball question or something like that, we'll get to them at the end. I can promise you that much, because the show is what makes the chat's what makes the show tick. All we ask is that you hit the like and subscribe button if you can. So that's good. So I see we got Kirkwood in chat. Kirk Dees, man, he's in chat. He's giving me a hard time. He's busting my chops here, but you know what? Kirkwood is. I heard through the grapevine a little bit later. Chris Kirkwood here in chat, the RG chat today. He is going to release a 5-star mortal lock bet for tonight. That's just what the little birdie told me. So I'm looking forward to that one. I got my eyeballs on the chat for that one. But as far as RG Premium, guys, you can get your subscription now. You can get to select specific sports for your RG Premium, a combo package for you. You could pick out any sport you want, except for NASCAR. You got to leave that. That's Stevie's deal right there. So pick out any sport you want. You can combo it up, or you just get the any specific sport, just period. We're dropping a link in chat. It's $10 off your first month. You know, we're here, man. This show's free, but behind the scenes, a ton of content that's premium that is well worth like everything that you'd be paying for. Like there's like every site has a little something going on, and it's all looks good, but like the biggest package, the biggest collection of awesome stuff here at RG, you know, with baseball, you got the best article in the industry, in my opinion. Cheese is good, does his article almost every day. Between that and the Lineup HQ, which you know, you can see all the content right there in Lineup HQ. That's worth it right there. There's just so much going on. And then you go to like basketball, and you got Meansy out there that you can get a piece of with a membership. And he's the best basketball mind for Cavs games out there, I believe. And just so much stuff going on. I think it's well worth the time. So you got that promo right there, $10 off. Chief, Big Brain. These guys need to download the Big Brain app as a trivia. It's DFS style trivia game. So what it is there's DFS contests out there on Big Brain, 50-50s, winner take alls, GPPs, top 10 pay, all this. All it is trivia, man. You sit there, there's 12 questions, and there's a timer. The faster you answer the question, the more points you get. So it's not like the other guys on the other line Googling it. You really can't do it. I played plenty here. You really can't Google it, man. You'll never win because you won't get enough points because the timer will go out on you. So it's a very fair game. I like it. I enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun with it. Tonight, there's different topics every night. There's all kinds of things going on. Some of the things you're going to find in the lobby tonight. Now, tell me if any of this jumps out to you, Chief, and you think you could be good at this topic, all right? I got my eyes on one and only one tonight. Topics tonight. The Big Bang Theory. I guess that's a television show. A lot of these are television shows. I never watched that one. That's not my deal. South Park. I never watched that one either, so I'm not on that one. Rick and Morty. Never watched that one. Not on that one. This topic interests me. the Heisman Trophy. I think I could do pretty well at that one. I might be signing up for the Heisman Trophy trivia, man, because sounds like something I can get behind right there. Any of that stuff interest you, Chief?
It's definitely gonna be the Heisman Trophy.
It's not. You're not a big show watcher.
I am, but Big Bang Theory, I never got into it. What was the other one you said? Ren and Stimpy? You didn't say Ren and Stimpy.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Never got into it.
South Park's supposed to be popular. I never really got into it.
I never got into South Park either. Like, I'm really a sports junkie. Like, I watch sports probably more than anything else. And when you got ESPN Classic, NBA TV, MLB TV, NFL TV, SEC Network, ACC Network, Big Ten Network, Pac-10, when I got all these networks, man, it's real hard for me to squeeze in a show that I'm just, not interested in. And I still got Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. I mean, you got all these options. Now, listen, I will say this: if they crank out The Office, that's when I would absolutely. That's probably my number one show of all time, outside of the classics that I watched when I was a lot younger, like Family Matters, Fresh Prince, Cosby Show, Boy Meets World, Full House, a little bit of Blossom. You know what I'm saying? I'm going way back now.
What was it? Now you got all these good apps downloaded, Netflix and Hulu and all that. Not sports related. What's the last nice show that Chief binged on?
Actually, I binged Family Matters.
Whoa, come on, Chief. Don't do that to me, man.
Listen. Because when you watch it, so look, here's the thing. When you watch Family Matters as a kid, you're watching it from the kid eyes, right? From the kid eyes. When I watched it this time, Chop, some of the innuendos that came through that show, I said to myself, man, I should have been watching this. It was the TGIF, but it was a good show. I will say this though, Chop. I'm also in the movie, so that's another reason why I don't watch shows. Concrete Cowboy. If you haven't watched that, that's on Netflix. Idris Elba produced that. Concrete Cowboy. Real good film. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
That is in my queue. That is in my queue. I've been meaning to watch that one. I watch a lot of stuff, man. I stay up late at night and just watch TV. When everybody else goes to bed, I'm just watching shows and stuff like that. I just started Mayor of Easttown. I heard it was good in the first couple episodes. I'm kind of hooked on it, so I think that's a pretty good one. But
last one for me, I started The Upshaws last night. That's on Netflix. It's got Mike Epps is in it. And Regine, if you guys remember Regine from Living Single, and that's not her real name, by the way, but Regine, if I say Regine, most people know about that. So I started The Upshaws last night. I watched about 3 episodes. It was kind of funny, but I'm not going to binge it. I'll just, watch that one here and there. So yeah, that's what I got going on.
Well, we get a little insight into what Chief watches. It's very interesting stuff right there, but yeah, I'm a big television junkie, so I watch it all. But we got some baseball tonight, guys. Like I said, like and subscribe. Hit it if you enjoy the show. We put this one out there. Dan Bach puts one out there free for you guys, so we appreciate all that. So all we ask is a little like button action right there. Chief, 9 games tonight. Actually, I think we're down to 8 games now, and possibly down to 7 here pretty soon if we don't get some good news on some weather. Okay, it's turning into kind of a, Monday night was a really rough slate. It was only 6 games, and it just, it wasn't all that appealing. And if the weather doesn't help us out here, we're going to be down to just about 6 games again, and that's not good. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up for 9 games, and I'm not going to get them. So let's talk about pitcher, man, and let's work our way through this and see if we can't figure out what to do now with the weather kind of hurting us a little bit. Pitcher, man, I got my eyes on a few guys, but problem is I got 4 guys identified. 2 of them are in the New York Mets game. So I could be in trouble there. I don't like the way that one's trending, but you talk to me about your pitchers and I'll let you know what I'm feeling.
Well, I mean, for me, unless I miss something, it feels like Trevor Bauer, has to be the number 1 guy, in my opinion. And there's one major reason, there's one minor reason. The major reason for me today is the fact that I think he may have a slightly longer leash than Tyler Glasnow. In fact, if you look at it, both teams are comparable in terms of the strikeout rates. Houston's not striking out a ton. Kansas City's actually not striking out a ton. So at that point, it's like, okay, who has the longer leash? Who do we think has the most upside? I'm definitely going to side with Trevor Bauer. You know, for me personally, I know he's facing Houston. I don't care. Going to side with him. When you look at these pitch counts, Chop, last 3 starts, 113, 113, 126. I mean, we're getting up in the, you know, Nolan Ryan type numbers in terms of pitch count. You know, this is the type of stuff I like. Tyler Glasnow, I do like him today. And look, he's got a lot longer leash this season than I feel like he's had in the past. But 101, 105, 93, got himself in a jam there in that Toronto game for sure. But for me, I think I'm going to place my flag with the guys that I feel like got me to the dance and the guys that I think can carry me home. That's for sure going to be Glasnow and Bauer. And then, you know, if I'm going down kind of to the bottom of the list, I think it's Drew Smiley. And I'm not a big Drew Smiley guy, but I did see some numbers today, and I'm going to pull those up now in terms of just the recent trends. So if you look on the season, Drew Smiley is not looking good, right? On the season, he got a 5.36 xFIP, 20% K rate, 8% walk rate, fly ball rates, you know, up there, you know, hard hit rate is up there. And I also understand that Boston isn't striking out a ton. So we've got a sea of red here. But when I pull up the recent trends, the ground ball rate is up, you know, the past 30 days at 46.2%. Fly ball rate is down 8.4%. You know, the hard hit percentage is up some as well. But I think overall for the price, when you look at it, you know, he's ahead in the count 4.4 more percent of the time. ISO has come down a little bit. K percentage is up over the past 30 days, 4%. So that 20.7 is up to 24.1. And the walk rate is down from over the past 12 months, 9.2% to 6.9%. When I see numbers like that, perhaps he's kind of regressing backwards a little bit in a good way. And so I think Drew Smiley, if we're not going to spend up at both, he feels like a guy that I can get behind in this slate. I know German Marquez is hanging out there at 6,700, but I think that game's going to be done. So I just want to go ahead and get rid of those guys and stick with, you know, the things that I've looked at today.
Yeah, man. Coming into this show here, you know, doing my research here, I had Marquez number 1 on the board for me tonight. I had him number 1 on the board. And then the Yankees got rained out, and that tells you right there. And then Roth sends out the tweet that, you know, those 2 stadiums are separated by like 6 miles.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking at another rain. I hope it doesn't happen. And it would take a lot of guts to start Marquez if it's not if it hadn't been postponed or delayed at that time. By the time this thing tips off, and you think, well, maybe they squeeze it in. He was my number 1 guy. You certainly can't trust that anymore for cash. You could take a shot in GPPs if we still look like maybe we're going to get it in. I also had my number 3 guy was Marcus Stroman from the same game. So like those guys are probably off the board for me now. So I do have Glasnow there, and I had Glasnow ranked number 2 on my list coming into the show here. But I'm going to agree with you. I'm re-ranking my guys here. I'm moving Trevor Bauer up top because of the rainout, and also because right before the show, we got word. The Astros lineup, there's no Michael Brantley. That hurts. But their best hitter, Yordan Alvarez, is scratched. Yeah. It depletes that lineup. That is a tough lineup when everybody's in. Now you got 2. It's 1 through 7 that are really good. Now you got 2 of those 7 that aren't even playing. It hurts everybody, man. So Bauer jumps up to me as the number 1 guy now with the rain out and the lineup things going on. So I'm with you right there. You could take shots on some of those lower guys like you talked about. I think in cash, you shove in Bauer. If you can get to Glasnow and Bauer in cash, that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with Glasnow. If not, yeah, I'm with you, man. Take a shot on another guy there that's a little bit cheaper. But is there anybody else you want to talk about that pitcher, man? I'm not sure.
I mean, if you want to go off some, possible name value in a kind of good spot, maybe Chris Paddock. But I mean, we really haven't seen it consistently this season. I mean, it's been a mixed bag of all kinds of things, Chop. I mean, he's had one game over 20, and that was his last game against Seattle. So, I mean, if you want to go that route, Chris Paddock at 7,700 on DK, I wouldn't hate it if you did. Me personally, if I'm on DK tonight, I'm not playing DK tonight, but I clearly have done the analysis. I would just jam in Glasnow Bauer, and I figure it out. Like, I think those are the two highest upside, highest scoring pitchers on the slate, in my professional opinion.
There you go. Yeah, that's where we're going to leave it to you guys. I think that the weather is worth monitoring for the Mets game, man. It's worth a GPP shot. I love those two pitchers. If we see that there is Kevin Roth tells us there's a glimmer that game could possibly get in. I like Marquez, I like Stroman, but they're certainly not cash game viable anymore, which they were, but they're not anymore. All right, let's move on. Let's go to first base. I'm going to skip over catcher. We can come back if we have time. Remember, guys, fire off your questions because we will be answering those questions here later on at the end of the show. We're going to answer them all. So let's talk about some first basemen now. I think the chalky play here is Freddie Freeman. You tell me about Freddie Freeman. Is he worth eating the chalk for? And who else might you have your eyes on at first base?
Well, let me do this. I like Freddie. Clearly, it's the hometown team, right? So I'm pulling for a dub here. But I'm not invested in this game as much as maybe the field is. My favorite first baseman on the night is Josh Bell.
Yeah,
that's my favorite first baseman on the night. And guys, I'll just be quite honest with you. I use Plate IQ for virtually most of my research. One of the big things I'm heavy into is premium reports and then looking at recent trends. So that's kind of where I go. I do want to kind of start on this dashboard on Hoffman because this season xFIP at 5.45. But if you look at what's going on to the left side of the plate, Chop, 15.4% K rate, walking guys at a 16.5% clip, hard hit percentage of 38.3%, line drive percentage, Chop, which I think is, even more important, 30% line drive percentage, and the guy's mostly a fastball pitcher. He's got fastball 54% of the time. So when we pull that up, I look at a guy like Josh Bell. Listen to these numbers, Chop. Just listen to these numbers. 425 ISO, 39% hard hit rate, average distance hit on this particular pitch, Chop, 366.7 feet, only a whiff rate of 12.36% and a contact rate of 87.64%. Josh Bell feels like the guy for me tonight at first base. I love Josh Bell. Absolutely my number one guy.
Okay, I'm with you. He's a guy I have highlighted too. Another guy I have highlighted in the same category, and Bell's a little bit cheaper, but Max Muncie. I think when we start talking here, I like some Dodgers tonight, and Muncie's one of them. You can get him at first base, second base, whatever, depending on the site. But Luis Garcia's I think he's a solid pitcher. He's got some solid stuff, and I don't think they're going to necessarily crush Luis Garcia, but he will struggle to get out of the fifth inning just about every start. And then you go to the bullpen. This is a bad bullpen that just got a lot weaker with some injuries. They could take advantage. The Dodgers could really light up one or two of these guys coming out of the bullpen. So I am on the Dodgers tonight. I think they fall like middle of the line as far as team totals, and maybe they go a little on their own. We'll talk about stacks later on, but I got Muncie up at the top of my list. Is there anybody out there that you could save some money on at first base, or are you just all about Freeman, Bell, and call it a day?
I mean, I secretly like Detroit today, and Miggy is 3,300. Jonathan Scope is 3,300. I think on the cheaper end, you can absolutely, get those guys in.
Fair enough, man. Let's go to second base now, where, one guy jumps out to me here. One guy jumps out to me. I'm gonna let you go first here because I want to see if we're on the same page. But I got one guy. He is a notorious, in my opinion, Now, I know Cardi won't believe me on this one. He doesn't believe in this stuff, but he's a notorious lefty masher. So who's your favorite second baseman? Then I'll tell you mine and see if we're on the same page.
Well, we probably won't be on the same page, Chopper. And guess what? That's why this show is so beautiful. It's beautiful. And look, this isn't a guy that's going to be popular, okay? He's not going to be popular. I like Mr. Hernandez. I like Hernandez from Cleveland, man. He's not going to be that popular today. He's facing Urania. Urania, another guy struggling from the left side of the plate, Chop. 8.2% K rate to the left side of the plate, 351 WOBA, 41% hard hit rate. Guess what? I don't give a rat's behind that his ground ball rate is 56.5%. You know what he's not doing? He's not striking anybody out. And when guys get on the bases, on the base paths, Chop, anything can happen. Well, what is he doing, Chop? Mostly the lefties. He's throwing the sinker. What do we have here on the sinker? Now, watch this. Cesar Hernandez. He doesn't have the highest WOBA, but the CX WOBA says he's going to be coming around. 401 CX WOBA, 90.3% contact rate, 9.6% whiff rate. I think Mr. Hernandez is going to be on the base paths a lot tonight if he gets to bat around this thing. I think he's got good run potential, not RBI potential, run potential. I think he can score 2 runs, single, double. I don't need home runs in every spot of my lineup. That's just not how I think about it. If you don't believe me, you need to go back and read an article from maybe 2000, I don't know, 10, 12, 14. Cheese is Good wrote this, and the article said hitting is good too. Let me tell you something. Mr. Cesar Hernandez should be able to rip off a few balls into the outfield tonight. Love him at second base. I think it's good value. Only 4K on DK. He's definitely a guy I'm going to be invested in.
Man, you said you started off and you said Mr. Hernandez. I thought we were on the same page there because I like Enrique Hernandez from Boston.
I like it.
That's my guy right there tonight at this position because you're getting a guy at the leadoff spot in a game where this team has the highest team total on the board. It's already up to over 6 now. It's steadily climbing throughout the day. So if you're not like you kind of like Drew Smiley here, but if you're not going Smiley, he's one of those guys, man. He could either be really good, get you a lot of points, but when he's bad, he's really bad. So I'll take a couple guys out of this lineup and hand pick them that have been killing lefties their whole career. He's one of the guys. He kills lefties. I can take a shot on that one. If you look back at it, game logs in baseball are almost useless. Like you definitely don't want to be following game because they don't mean a whole lot. Some of the things that you're ripping off are the things that count, but game logs aren't that. But if you're just looking at game logs, the guys scored you positive points every game this month. We're already in late May, all except for May 1st. I think he got shut out. Otherwise, he gets on the board, man. With this high-powered offense, draws a walk and scores a run, or there's guys on base. It's a free RBI for him. It's a great cash game investment at this price tag, which is cheap. So I like Enrique Hernandez. If you're not going there, you want a little bit more thumping that bat. Ketel Marte jumps out to me. Yeah. He's in a pretty good spot. So I think we handled second base pretty good. That's where we're at. Let's go to third base. I've got 2 guys I'm eyeing. One's a GPP, pretty much just a GPP play. The other one is I think more of a cash game friendly. My cash game guy, Eugenio Suarez from Cincinnati against Joe Ross. I like that price tag on him. He's $2,600 on FanDuel. You don't get that, and he's batting leadoff tonight. That's he gets a little bit change of pace there, and that's pretty good. I like that. So you got that. A guy in GPPs, if you will go way off the radar, and you're looking at a team, like I said, Boston with a 6+ run total tonight. But you know who they're not going to play against Drew Smiley? They're not going to play left-handed hitters against Drew Smiley. Why not? If you think that stack is going off, we're going to get Drew Smiley out of there early, if that's the case. We don't got to worry about lefty on lefty. He'll be gone. Why not play Rafael Devers? Maybe the best hitter in the lineup all around. You can get him at no ownership in this stack right here because it's lefty on lefty. But like I said, if our stack pays off, Drew Smiley will be gone early anyway. And if Drew Smiley's still there by the 6th or 7th inning, then our stack was no good anyway, so it really doesn't hurt you. So I like Devers in GPPs. I like Suarez in cash, but who's your third baseman of choice tonight?
Listen, I don't know if you can tell, Chop. I'm kind of off the board tonight. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm going to be spending up on pitching, and I understand that. So I have to find nuggets and things that I can put together along with the stat. And we'll get to the stats in a minute, and it's not going to be a secret. But I like Jaime Candelario on the cheap end for Detroit. Facing McKenzie, if I can rattle off some of these numbers, man, in front of you and behind the scenes, it's getting real ugly for McKenzie. About the only thing he's got working for him is a 30% K rate this season. Outside of that, everything is just terrible. You look at these, the recent trend, it's ugly. So when I look at it, McKenzie's going to be mostly fastball to the left side of the plate 70% of the time, Chop. That means 7 of 10 pitches is going to be a fastball. Literally, all they have to do is sit there and wait. And he's not even extremely high velocity. Now, listen, compared to what I can throw, he's high velocity. But in the majors, we got guys 96, 98, 95, average velocity of 91.2. Jaime Candelario, man, when I pull these stats up on this pitch, Chop, 83.3% contact rate, looks good, 242 ISO. Definitely a guy that I think can bring in some runs if Robbie Grossman and Harold Castro can get on the base path. So Jaime Candelario, definitely a guy at third base I plan to employ.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. There's another guy I like. But let's move on to shortstop now and talk about this. Not a lot jumped out to me at shortstop, but that's okay because we've got a big dog that I don't even have to play around with. I don't even have to worry about digging too deep into too many numbers here. You could go a lot of different routes here if you wanted to, but the one guy that stands out for me is Fernando Tatis. I want him against a left-hander, batting cleanup tonight. In Milwaukee, he gets the park upgrade from his home park in San Diego. I'm on Tatis, and you could probably, if you really wanted to talk me into Bogarts as a spin-up, that's fine. But I'm not about punting this category tonight. But maybe you got some different thoughts as shortstop. What's your opinion?
Man, I'm always digging. Always digging, Chop. I want the nuggets. Brandon Crawford, Chop, out there in Arizona tonight. Going to be facing Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kelly's going to be throwing that fastball 35% of the time. Now, he's got a knuckle curve he's going to be throwing as well. But I've watched baseball enough to know that these professional guys, they're just going to sit on it and wait for you to make a mistake when you're not an extremely good pitcher. And I'm not saying Kelly can't be that. I'm saying as of today, he's definitely not a Max Scherzer. So when I look at it, Chop, I mean, the numbers here, he's got a 267 ISO, 63.64% hard hit rate, Chop. This smells like he's going to have some blood in the water here. So I'm really interested in Brandon Crawford. Last time I checked, excuse me, everybody, Brandon Crawford has 11 home runs on the season. Last time I checked, and I think he's still there, and I probably can pull that up just to make sure I'm accurate. It'd be nice if he was over that total by now, but 11 home runs, can't see it at the moment. But anyway, Brandon Crawford, definitely a guy that I like on this slate tonight. A little bit of late night hammer action.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, I can't disagree with that because I would have I don't even know how much money I would have bet prior to the season that no way in heck San Francisco would be this good at this point in the season. They just didn't look like they had it right. And they're putting up big numbers on offense all the time now. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it, but they're getting it done. So I'm not going to disagree with that. That's a good money saver for you right there. And like I said, I like some spin ups. He likes a little money saver right there. You got the best of both worlds with that. Let's talk about some outfielders now. Walk me through you see, I got the love for Boston. So I'm going to be on JD Martinez tonight, another guy who's been good about smashing some lefties. But talk to me about some other outfielders you like.
Listen, I'm going to just rattle it off. I've been giving you the numbers, so I don't have to go through too much. But, Juan Soto at 6,100, it's expensive, man. And he has not lived up to the hype. But here's what I know in baseball, Chop. It's just like the stock market, right? You can't time the market. You got to have time in the market. And guess what? I've been investing my shares in the Juan Soto, and it has not materialized on a regular basis. But here's what you have to do if you know what's going on. I don't know when Juan Soto is going to start hitting the ball, and I don't know when he's going to stop. So I just have to take the opportunities when they present themselves, and he's facing a pitcher tonight that is hittable. Juan Soto at 6,100. I'm going to be at the top of the list at outfield tonight, Chop. We're going to keep it in the San Francisco game. Let's go Yaz, right? At 5,900, we don't want to play Yaz tonight at those prices. We want Yaz in the mid 4K range. We're not used to paying that, right? Give me some Yaz. You guys probably see where I'm going with this. Love these two guys. And if you're really, Chop, last thing. Now, if you're into the other side where you're saying, man, this guy's hot. What about Mr. Winker? Feel like every time he's at the plate, the flirter. the flirter. Every time he's at the plate, the ball's going out of the ballpark. But this is still a good spot for him against Ross. So I don't hate Mr. Winker as well. And all those guys are kind of at the top of the food chain. As we get a little lower, we'll have, some other guys that we'll probably have for stacks.
So you just dropped on the Juan Soto. You're telling me, let me get it straight. It's not about timing the market. It's about your time in the market. You're not trying to time the Juan Soto home run. Just play the guy. You're pot committed now. Just stay with it. He's going to get out of here eventually. Why not?
Yeah.
Don't try to time his home run. Just take the time and keep on rolling with him. I like that because he is a great hitter and he'll snap out of it soon. So I like that. I like his teammate Kyle Schwarber tonight. He's been good this year. And just before we came on the air, we got a little lineup update and on one of the teams. And Tyler Naquin out there. You said Jesse Winker for Cincy. Naquin moved up to the cleanup spot tonight for Cincy. He's cheap. There's a saver for you right there.
There it is.
I like that one. All right, we're going to start answering those questions here in just a minute. But before we get to, let's quickly go over some of your favorite stacks tonight that are jumping off the charts to you.
I want to give you my top four. Number one for me is Washington. Number two is Cincinnati. I don't know if you can tell, I will be stacking that game. Number three is San Francisco. And number four is Detroit.
I like it, man. I like that. I like Boston. Now, I don't think, they're going to be a popular stack, so maybe you don't have to stack them. If you do stack them, I told you could play Devers and be different. You could play, another left-hander out of that lineup, and that could get you different in that lineup. Or you could just chase a home run out of this. Like J.D. Martinez, Hernandez, Bogarts. You could one off any of these guys and chase a home run. I like the Soto Schwarber Bell combination down there as a little mini stack out there for Washington. So you got that going for you. And I'm with that Cleveland team. I'm with that Cleveland team. So we're on the same page with some of those hitters. But that'll take care of some of our stacks. I'm still waiting on Kirk Deese to drop that. Did he drop his lock yet? Kirk, come on, man. We need that lock in chat. We need that mortal lock that he calls it his net worth play, Chief. You put your net worth on it, you're going to double up on it. So let's see if now don't really do that. Don't really do that, guys. It's just the name of the pig. But
well, here's the cool thing about net worth, Chop. It doesn't include your house. Your net worth includes your investable assets outside of your home value. So if you're not mortgaging the house, man, put that money on there with my boy Kurt.
Put it on there.
Put it on there. Ladies and gentlemen, do not follow these instructions, okay? We're being facetious.
All right, let's bring in Devin. Devin, we got about 15 or so minutes left in the show. Are you ready to jump in with some questions for us?
Just in the nick of time, it sounds like you guys are out here giving a financial advice.
Yeah, I got for real though. I got to preface that before he drops that. Don't put all your money on it. It's just a joke. He just likes to play. All right, he likes it.
He says cannot lose in chat. You gotta love it.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh man,
we don't want to get sued like Red Bull because they said it didn't give people wings. Did you guys hear about that lawsuit?
Oh,
That's
really?
Crazy. No, this is a real thing. I'm not kidding.
Gosh. I have not heard of that.
So if you notice, look at the Red Bull commercials now. They've added the extra eyes in there. Red Bull gives you wings. Look at the commercial.
Oh,
all right.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here we are. Well, other than the net worth play of the day, which Kirk's dropping in chat now, Red Sox money line. There we go. We got plenty of QQs, so we can jump right into that. You want to bounce between the two of you for questions?
Yeah, whatever looks good.
All right. We'll start with Eric coming in with a question about Johnny Cueto. Chop, any thoughts on Johnny Cueto tonight?
I haven't played Johnny Cueto in quite a while, and I don't suspect I'm going to start tonight. There's just a lot of there's just better pitchers out there for me, so I'm not on Cueto now.
Now, the other one that Eric kept dropping in there was Cueto or Kelly, if you had to choose between the two.
Ooh, man, I kind of don't know why we're choosing between the two, but man,
There was
boy.
a stack against glass now question thrown in there later, so perhaps going way off the board with the stack.
Way
tonight.
off the board. Give me Merrill Kelly probably has better stuff right now in his career, so I'll take the more talented arm talent. So give me Kelly, but yeah, if you're going way off the board, sure, why not?
All right, a lot of fun conversation going on with this, the bet the farm, bet the top shots.
It says bet the Family Matters DVD box set. Oh, you don't want to lose that one, buddy.
Oh man! All right,
Who said that? That's a good one.
that's a
Chop.
good one.
Hey.
Jason
Oh,
Jason Mayo,
man, Jason,
friend of the
that's
show.
good. That's good, Jason.
Will Bryan asks, with both games in New York likely PPD, and just while I'm there, I don't know if we have definitive answer on the Mets game yet, but where would the Marquez Stroman chalk go if they both get taken off?
I mean, I think it's going to roll in the glass now and Bauer myself because there's a whole lot of uncertainty out there at pitcher. So I think it probably would be divided between those two. And then, maybe you start getting into some name value guys like Paddock or Smiley or even a Cueto down there in that 7K range if people want to spend up for the bats.
All right.
I don't like Cueto for what it's worth.
Sure.
He's one of those name value guys.
If you gotta. I haven't played Cueto in, I think, two, maybe 3 years now.
Oh, at least 3, Chop. At least. He's been hurt for 2 of these. Might be 4 years, Chop.
Time flies, right? Chop, Eric asks, DK tournament, talk me off of Jose Urena.
Yeah. Do I got to talk you off of it?
Talk him off of it. Doesn't seem like it might be
Okay.
that hard, right?
A couple starts ago, he scored a negative. I mean, yeah, like he doesn't have, man. He could go out there and do well. Like sometimes he is an adequate pitcher, just doesn't have the strikeout stuff. Usually, it's not a bad matchup. I'm not going that route, but you're not saving a whole ton of money on some of the other guys. I don't know, man. It just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
Let me hop in this, Chop, because I think, and look, guys, this isn't a bash, so don't take it as a bash. But I think sometimes in baseball, we're trying to be contrarian because everybody's going to be stacking against the pitcher. So you just take the pitcher, and if the pitcher does well, then woohoo, I'm above the field. And I understand the concept. Conceptually, I get it. But I don't think we're going to be profitable long-term making decisions like this on pitchers that just aren't good. Inversely, a lot of times we'll stack against the good pitcher because we say, oh, if he gets shelled tonight, right? If he gets shelled tonight, then I'm going to win all the money. Maybe, right? But
Yeah.
I don't think we should be actively playing bad pitchers and actively targeting good pitchers. Like you're not going to be profitable long term that way because you're chasing the dragon at that point. That's just my 2 cents.
I can see where Eric's coming from, though. It feels like in the last couple of slates we've had what seems like safer options at pitcher, and then come to the end of the night and we find out some of those pitchers that are more low owned broke the slate, like Rich Hill last night. There was some over the weekend, I think, did something like that. So I can see where he's coming from, trying to find some off the board plays.
What
right?
I would say to that one is like, if you start Jose Urena, can he crush your team and lose the tournament for you right away? Yes, he can absolutely get blown out the water and lose that game, lose your buy-in right off the bat. Can he win a tournament for you? No. You're not winning. You may win despite having him in your lineup, but it's because your hitters went off. You handpicked those. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to put up this game-changer performance. So I look around. Let me see here. Nick Pivetta, there's some upside there. Chris Paddock, there's upside there. Hadn't shown a lot. These are guys that are not that much more. Mike Minor is not that much more expensive, and he has upside. Like there's upside in other guys, but you're not going to win because Urena puts up this massive performance. You're going to win because you saved a little. You can still save a little with other guys, and your hitters did great. You handpicked the best hitters. That's what it was.
Perfect. All right. Shannon was asking, we may have touched on this in the stack portion. Will Washington, Cincinnati stacks, you like those?
Oh, man. I mean, that's my favorite game stack on the night, period.
Perfect.
I mean, as much Washington and Cincinnati as I can handle, along with San Francisco.
All right. And Tony was asking for a Mets weather update. Looks like the last one, no official PPD for the Mets yet. Honestly, New York has improved some, even though the Yankees game got postponed. Looking for a line to come in through early. More storm potential behind that. Nothing set in stone. So
yeah, he's got that orange yellow, which is an upgrade.
That's Cardi might say that's fine, play it, but those colors tell me caution. Chop Eric wants to know: play Glass now or Bauer, or pivot and play two of Paddock, Minor, Marquez, or Stroman?
No, if you can find your way on Bauer, I'd go Bauer then Glass now. Then those other guys are fine too. But my emphasis at this point is Trevor Bauer with everything that's going on around baseball right now.
All right, Ryan asked Braves stack. Will, I'm pretty sure you were on that one.
Yeah, I don't hate a Braves. It's not my favorite now, and I'm saying that honestly because Pavetta, like we said, he's kind of in that in between. He's either going to strike out 10 guys or get shelled, and 10 is probably an exaggeration, but I'm not really that high on the Braves today.
All right, Chop. Mark wants to know on FanDuel, favorite pay-up option at outfield? Was it Juan Soto?
Oh, man. Favorite pay? Like, I like Juan Soto, but no, I think my favorite pay-up option is J.D. Martinez.
All right. Will, Eric wants to know KC stack versus Glass down to get weird.
I just talked about it. I'm not an advocate of that unless, and let me say this, Chop, unless there's something in the numbers that suggests maybe he's hurt, or you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can look at it and say, why are his numbers out of whack? And maybe you're taking a shot that way. I'm not doing it just to do it, to get leverage. That's just not my style of play.
All right. Big Hurt wants to know FanDuel tournament, one lineup. What's your favorite stack, Chop? Where do you got Will's?
One lineup? My favorite stack is Boston, but be a little different with it. You can see where the Boston chalk is. I like Boston. Just be a little different. Don't be scared of Devers.
Keep
lefty
Devers
on
in
lefty.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Will, Brendan, the thoughts on a Milwaukee stack DK tournament?
That one, I guess I get a little bit more because Paddock has been so sporadic. So I understand, playing some guys from Milwaukee. I totally get it. I think if you do, you get on Plate IQ and you search and you make sure you try to hammer it down as best you can with, who's got the best opportunity to hit the base pass and hit a home run.
All right. Chop, Eric wants to know Arizona stack. Somehow Eric lands on all the stacks we haven't talked about yet.
Arizona is not bad because there's blow-up potential in Cueto. Now, that's one that, like going back to that previous question about Glass now, like a team like Arizona won't get ownership either. There'd be no ownership on Arizona. They got a lot better chance of blowing up than a team facing Glass now. So that's, those are the kind of places you can get different. But yeah, I don't mind that. Going against a guy like Cueto, there's plenty of those guys on the board that could absolutely blow up.
All right. Jason wants to know, Will, is it wrong to like Tucker even though I have Bauer? 2-7 on FanDuel and been on fire.
I don't hate it. Like, I understand it conceptually. 2-7, can't really go wrong with 2-7. So I'm not going to say no on that one.
I'm the Astros expert. You guys should be asking me that.
Yeah. Chop,
hit it up
by
there,
all
Chop.
means, Chop. Hop on in.
It's an 8-game slate, maybe 7-game slate, but I still don't ever like to take a hitter against my pitcher. So if you're starting Bauer, I wouldn't do it. But if you're not starting Bauer, yeah, why not one off? Now, I wouldn't stack against the guy, but here's the thing about Tucker is, number one, gets bumped up in the order now, all the way to number 2 from typically number 7. That's good. Last night, he had a double on Clayton Kershaw. That was the first extra base hit allowed by Clayton Kershaw this year to a left-handed hitter. This guy's good. He's really talented. So he could definitely be the one guy in this lineup, just like Bregman last night got a home run late in the game off of Kershaw.
And he's another one.
This could be the one guy in this lineup that gets that one home run off of Bauer. So I like him. I wouldn't start him against my pitcher if I'm starting Bauer, but I don't mind Tucker as a one-off, like, super weird play.
All right. Kirk was wanting to know from Chief, what are some good Top Shot buys?
Oh,
Oh man, Kurt. What you need to be buying right now, brother, is every pack you can find. Every pack you can find. Because guess what's going to happen? The market's going down in the off season. You'll be able to scoop up whatever you want for the low, and they're going to get some marketing going, and we're going to have a new influx of investors. And then all of a sudden, everybody that's laughing now is going to be wishing they had moments stocked up in the vault, because that's what I'm doing. Stocking up moments in the
Chief,
vault.
I'm buried on Top Shots. How do I get unburied? I'm buried, man. These things, mine are going down to like a nickel. How do I get unburied?
Guess what? Guess what's going to happen with some of those nickel moments, Chop?
Please tell me, Rick. Please tell me.
A challenge is going to come out, and everybody's going to have to pay $15-20 to get that moment, and you're going to have some, and you'll make a few dollars back. But here, I'm not here to give financial advice. That was my actual real job for a long time, and anyway.
Friend of the show, Kirk, loves to get the little opinions there. Let's see. Chop Dave wants to know Longoria or Escobar if you had to choose.
Escobar.
Don't forget to hit that like button. We got just a few more minutes left on the show. You got the Family Matters box set DVDs. Chief Frederick wants to know any love for McKenzie versus Detroit? Large field GPP? No, you were against him, right?
I can't. His numbers they're terrible. I've looked at so much on him. They're awful, guys. I'm expecting him to get blown up today, even against low ISO Detroit. He's going to walk too many guys. It's just,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Chop Jason wants to know, only taking one of these for tournaments, Bauer or Glass now?
Wow, only one. Give me Bauer, but they're both really good. You can't go wrong.
All right, Brad wants to know, are we trusting Marquez and Cash with the weather? Seems like a pretty risky choice.
Yo, I'm not. I think Cash, man. I don't know, but you know what though, Chief? The good thing about that question is all you got to do is tune in about 5-10 minutes, and our boy Roth comes on and lets you know everything you need to know about that weather.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, looks like he just tweeted, hearing this is a postponement, but we'll see. I think we're waiting on confirmation there. Yeah, he says, I tweeted a little while ago, I think soon they'll either announce a late start or postponement. A late start wouldn't make it safe, but I'd roll the dice in GPP.
He just said here, and this is a PPD.
Yeah,
let's see.
So might be getting some news here shortly.
He just said he's hearing it's a PPD.
I saw Brian.
Hey, man, trust the weatherman. Trust the weatherman.
If ever. Brian in chat looking for basketball stuff. If you're a premium member, we got ourselves a premium Lineup HQ roundtable show. Go ahead and take a look at that on our site. Chop Jay wants to know DK single entry giant stack with the Boston bottom of the order mini stack.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's bottom of the order, guys. Good way to get different on a big time stack. Sure, why not?
For the single entry, would you rather do that or a Dodger stack with a Cleveland mini stack?
I want the bottom Boston.
Bottom Boston. All right, Chop. Mark wants to know Turner or Bogarts.
Out of that one, even though I do like some Dodgers, I want Bogarts against a lefty if I have the choice and all the money to spend.
All right, GR Sauce looking for the summary on a pitcher in a postponement game. So there's your summary. Oh, there's a Boston a little risky too from Roth. Starts drive, but the line moves in during the game. Doesn't just race through. I think at the southern flank, could sit on them for a while.
Oh man,
Not good.
Yeah.
We'll have to definitely tune into crunch time as we are coming up to the end of the show here. So, Baby Chop, you want to go ahead and take us home?
Yeah, we can do that, guys. Don't forget, just like the man said, in about 12 minutes or so, you're going to get a little crunch time with Roth, the weather guy, Cheese, the best MLB guy out there, and Mr. Tuttle. But Roth has got to be the man of the hour today. He's the MVP today, so we need to see what he says about all this stuff. But, guys, don't forget, hit that like button if you can. We appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget about Kirk's mortgage the house play. Don't really mortgage the house, because between Kirk gave me one of these 5 stars on Friday night, and it was the Braves minus 200, and the Braves didn't do so well.
Uh-oh.
So between Kirk and the top shots,
keep it to the Family Matters.
Between Kirk and the top shots, I'm going to get off the air. I'm going to be asking Chief for a big loan here and try to take it out and get it back on the Red Sox tonight. But guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Good luck to those GPPs for our producer, Devin. That was Will the Thrill. I was your host, Head Chopper. We'll be back next time, but for now, we're out of here.